And it's like, if you're talking about building an authoritarian regime, you need a sizable portion of people who are in favor, who are strongly and dedicated behind you, loudly vocal.
Yeah.
But you also need a large portion of apathetic people who will do nothing.
Go along to get along.
Just go along to get along.
Absolutely.
Will not pay attention to the political situation.
Yeah.
Is afraid to engage because that politics is just a hobby that other people have.
Right. And it's like, politics are so contentious. I just don't want to get into an argument. But like, the argument is like, one side is like, yeah, fascism is on the rise and we have to nip this in the bud. And the other half is like, we got to get rid of the globalists and the Jews, you know, like, and being in the middle of that and saying like, that just seems kind of argumentative and like it spoils my dinner parties is like, really, it's kind of despicable.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a person who is shouting everyone down on the streets, or you don't even have to be a person who's necessarily protesting, but there's lots of kinds of resistance.
Absolutely.
Lots and lots of different methods for pushing back. Lots of approaches to like having courageous conversations with people that are sometimes uncomfortable. You know, like I was reading, there was some article, I don't remember even what I was reading, but talking about how, you know, oh, my friend is constantly making racist jokes and I just really don't appreciate them, and it clearly makes everyone else uncomfortable. And it's like, your job is to sit and have a conversation with your friend about why this is inappropriate and maybe help them understand the history of this kind of stuff too, because that person is only going to listen to someone who they trust.
Well, it's like Lindy, like after Doremus publishes that first article that gets him into a lot of trouble, when he's like talking about doing it and like lets her read it, she's like, that was so inspiring. It made me want to do something. It made me want to stand up to people who are like saying awful shit. I didn't do it, but I thought about it and I wanted to do it. And then later on, she becomes like a huge asset.
Right.
Gets him out of a concentration camp through her connections. And like, I mean, it's basically her and Mary running the show when they're all locked up, you know, and Sissy as well. Yeah. But like,
Sissy becomes one hell of a trouble in her own right.
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. They all do really important stuff. It's not flashy. It's not like, you know, like fighting in the streets or anything like that. It's just like making shit happen, like kind of
building networks.
Yeah. Building networks and making shit happen in a like kind of invisible way that women do most things. You know? Women in our society are like usually confined to non-public spaces, but they still have networks, you know, and they still talk to each other and make shit happen. Usually they're making way more shit happen than men are, just not in like a flashy, visible way. And that's why they're a huge asset.